I bought the largest coral I've ever seen in my entire life. And I wish I was exaggerating, but no, this thing is absolutely massive, and I think it's honestly worth around $500. But that's only if you were getting it from a local fish shop. I got this one from somebody who was breaking down his tank, and I was very, very fortunate. He gave me a great deal that even gave me the coral at all. And I mean, honestly, wow. This thing is unlike anything else. I wish I didn't have to break it apart to put it into my tank, but I did have to snap it almost in half, almost. But as we look here into the tank, one of these things does not look quite like the others. Which one is it? Oh, it's this entire corner over here. You can see it is just this massive hammer colony. The clownfish are starting to host it immediately. But look at the sheer size of this thing. It also had this broke off of it. I broke that off of it, and there was a whole nother colony that I broke off of it, like another 4 head colony. So in total, when I got it, it was about 20 heads, and now it's maybe about, you know, 15 heads. So I broke it off a little bit, but that was just because I had to. I wish I didn't have to break it to put it into this tank. I mean, it was like a full, perfect, just gorgeous ball of coral. It makes all my other colonies look small. It makes this little 4 head colony back here look like absolutely nothing. Overall, the tank is doing great though. Let me go put on a filter for your enjoyment. And bam, now that we have the filter, I mean, look at how gorgeous this tank is looking. It's taken a long time to get to this point, but now that we're finally here, holy cannoli smoky the bear. Look at how gorgeous this tank is looking. I'm going to have to really frag these. They're absolutely covering my overflow up here, which is really not good. I don't really know the negative side effects of that, but I'm sure it's not very good whenever it starts getting even worse. I also did pick up a little mushroom coral. See if I can get a decent video of it. There it is back there. It does not like to be in the light for some reason. It keeps moving. It is a bounce mushroom coral. It's not an OG bounce mushroom coral as much as I want to lie and say that it is. I think it's like the other one that they have. It's almost the OG bounce, but it's not. Either way, that's okay. All the other corals are doing good. I did kind of deal with the white fuzz issue I had. I managed to save a few corals, like this one. I saved this one. Going back over here, I saved this one. And I was even able to save this guy, which is kind of surprising considering that whatever white fuzz I had just absolutely killed everything that it touched, except for those ones. But what I did do with these guys that I did save was I chopped off the bad head on that one, chopped off the bad head on this one and this one, and this guy I just did a real strong iodine dip and super glued it all. So I guess it was quite a lot of effort to get all that stuff done, but now that it is, the tank is looking great. I do have a little secret that I'm willing to share with you though. If you look deep in here, I don't know if it'll let you see it, but I have an aptasia in there. There's a single big ass aptasia hiding right there. So I covered him up with super glue, and then I put this massive coral right on top of him. So I definitely need to super glue him again before he attaches to this guy. Also, by the way, this guy has some extremely long sweeper tentacles. I know they don't seem bad now. This guy absolutely demolished this coral here. You see, he killed that head underneath. That's okay, I guess. The button scully that I got, absolutely turning into a mini scully. Super gorgeous, super beautiful. It's getting like this nice green coloration to it. So whenever it grows up and it looks like this one, side by side, they should look pretty amazing. Oh, look. What's going on, clownfish? Like what I don't talk about enough is this frag tank, which is absolutely booming right now. You could see I have a mountain of digitata back here. This was all given to me along with that massive coral. Yeah, he just gave me a bunch of this. Sometimes when you have a massive tank, I guess, the coral game is a little different than for us, with the small tanks. I also fragged up my leather coral. You can see I'm trying to get him to attach to the plugs. It's absolutely a challenge. And then you have the few digitata that have made it onto the rest of my plugs. The leather that won't stick over here. But the star of the show and the reason I came over here is look at these two struggling hammer corals.
So this is the purple one. It used to be absolutely gorgeous in my tank, and then it just started declining. And then there was this guy, which I have the other half of him in my tank. He also just started declining. They got this white fuzz. It grew up on him. It killed him after a while. So I threw him in this tank, see if I could save him in here, which they're not, they're not doing saved. They're not getting saved. But if anybody knows how to combat that, or why everything else will live in this tank except for some really almost dead hammer corals that were already dying, and then I put them in here to pretty much die, let me know. This is pretty much what I have for sale though in Albuquerque, New Mexico. This tank is doing great. Zero algae, zero water changes, and I think I think zero nutrients, man. Because why else would nothing else be surviving? If you look at this hammer coral, like if I zoom in on this hammer coral and the frog spawn when it was open, it was the same way. See how you get like this green coloration all down the stems, like it's super green. If I go over to this tank and I look at the same coral, they're not as green. So I wonder if like the zero nutrients in that tank is really what's doing it, and really what's making it so that way the color comes out. But I think it's also completely starving these corals that are in there. Because when you look at it, like these corals are decently healthy, especially this one. It actually even has a healthy head. I threw it in here because this one was struggling. But like this guy here, like why can't Euphilia survive in this tank? Everything else can, except Euphilia is my favorite coral. So I think it just has decided that it won't live in this tank because it knows that too much Euphilia will be put in here if it does live. So I added this massive coral though. My alkalinity actually dropped around 2 DKH. I was keeping it around a steady 9, and it dropped it around to below an 8 to around like a 7.5. It kept it steady there, which I think this is what this coral liked. But I did end up raising it a little bit because I don't want it to drop into like the 6 ranges, and I don't want to start losing everything. But it did have a crazy flesh band. It went all the way down to that line, and obviously in my possession, yeah. But that guy had an amazing tank. I don't think anybody could really compare to the health that he had on his corals. I don't think I could put one person who could go against that guy. And this coral here absolutely has all kinds of babies on the stems. You can see the super tentacles way in the back, just drooping. And it's not being unhealthy, like all this tissue recession, it doesn't mean it's unhealthy. This is actually a great amount of tissue down the base. But what it does mean is that his tank was a lot healthier than mine, which, golly, I would agree. My tank may, look decent on camera, but his tank was like great in every way. In a reef nerd way that makes me say, goddamn, Did end up selling a decent amount of coral. You can see I'm missing all the GSP that was back here. The hammer coral was going to kill it anyways. And then I put a couple digitatas in here, moved a couple things around. I had moved my peach hammer here. You can see it's absolutely gorgeous. It used to be kind of hidden away, and then I got this. I was shading it, and I was like, no, I'm going to shade my lame corals, keep the Euphilia, especially this nice peach one, front and center. I guess we'll just have to wait and see if this guy crashes my tank. I don't think he will. I think I can kind of bounce back with it pretty good. I just have to dose more alkalinity, do more things like that, and he's gonna be great. But if you want to frag this guy, let me know. And I'll even give this frag. I'll even give this hammer coral. I'll give that bad boy away if you comment on this video saying that you're in New Mexico, you enjoy my videos, and you want that frag. But if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, subscribe, follow for more. I post videos, all the time. I'll see you guys soon.